sky and touch the ground. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, wiggle your shoulders and say hello. Hello, friends. So we are talking all about space. And last week you guys told me the name of people who go to space that I can't remember. Can you help me remember? What do we call people who go to space? Are they scuba divers?
No.
What are they? Rockets? They go in a rocket. What do we call them? Astronauts. That's Jack. We call them astronauts. Oh, thank you. Hey, do you guys want to pretend to be astronauts with me? Let's stand up. Let's play a game. Astronaut, turn around. Astronaut, touch the ground. Astronaut, dance on your toes. What? Astronaut, touch your nose. Astronaut, jump up now. Astronaut, take a bow. Or you could do it like this. Astronaut, stop your feet. Astronaut, take a seat. Good job, guys. Awesome. Our first story this morning is about an astronaut, and her name is May. And we're going to read all about her. She was a real astronaut. All right, May Among the Stars by Rhoda. Little May was a dreamer. They say that daydreamers never succeed, but little May was different. One day, May was working on an assignment for school about what she wanted to be when she grew up. What will you tell them, May? I will tell them that I want to see Earth. Well, this is Earth, May, her mother said. The flowers, the grass, the forest, and the mountains. We live on Earth. I know, but I want to see Earth from out there. Well, that's an amazing plan, little May. Then you have to become an astronaut. That way you can see Earth from space. Astronaut? Do you really think I could do that? Of course you can. If you can dream it, if you believe it, and you work hard for it, anything is possible. May asked her mom to take her to the library. She searched for books about space and astronauts. After dinner, May drew pictures of space, and she even made her own astronaut costume out of old orange curtains and cardboard boxes. Later, she asked her dad, "But how do I become an astronaut? It seems impossible." "You'll find your way, May, because if you dream it, believe in it, and work hard for it, anything is possible." But space is so far away. It's closer than you think, little May, and you may get there sooner than you think. That night, May had a happy dream. She was dancing in space, surrounded by billions of sparkling stars. Below her, she could see Earth floating and turning like a shining crystal ball. The next morning, May told her parents about her dream. She wanted to tell everyone, and every time she talked about it, her eyes would light up. In the classroom, Miss Bell told everyone to stand in a line on the row. Today, we're going to share our dreams about the future. What do you want to be, and what do you want to do when you grow up? Who wants to go first? Oh, I want to be a firefighter. And I want to be a teacher. Football player. I want to be a mom. I want to go to space. I want to be an astronaut. All the kids started laughing. Miss Bell asked, "May, are you sure you don't want to be a nurse? Well, nursing would be a good profession for someone like you." "I don't want to be a nurse. I want to be an astronaut." May felt very disappointed. On her way home from school, May was quiet. She looked out the car window. Her world turned blue and cold, and nothing was the way it used to be. At home, May started crying. "Miss Bell said I can't become an astronaut." "Oh, what a silly thing to say," said her mother. "She told me that I should be a nurse instead." Mom wiped away her tears. My dear May, I hope you didn't believe her. Of course I believe her. She's my teacher. Well, I'm sorry Miss Bell didn't encourage you, but she can't stop you. No one can stop you. Follow your dream, May, and go to space. Thank you, Mom. I promise when I get to space, I'll wave to you and Dad from the spaceship. Her mom took her hand and they started dancing. You must always repeat to yourself, if I can dream it, if I can believe in it, and if I work hard for it, anything is possible. May went on dreaming, believe it, and worked really hard. And guess what? She went to space and she waved to her mom and dad back on her. Yay! This is a real life story. That story was real. Mae Jemison really was an astronaut who went to space, and we're going to look at a little bit about what she has to say about it right here. That's her. When she grew up.
And I was a young girl who loved to stare up at the stars. I imagined myself going there. I studied all the things about the Apollo program. I knew what mission was going to take place when, what it was supposed to accomplish. I decided to go to medical school because I wanted to do something called biomedical engineering. While I was in medical school, I had the opportunity to go and work at a Cambodian refugee camp. I went to study group in Cuba. I'm working with flying doctors in East Africa. But I still wanted to go into space. So I picked up the phone. I called down to Johnson Space Center. I said, I would like an application to be an astronaut. They didn't laugh. I turned in the application. There may be a certain naivete when I say, when I applied to the astronaut program, I didn't even think about the fact of whether I would be in space or anything like that. It didn't even cross my mind I wanted to go into space. I couldn't have cared if there had been 1,000 people in space before me or whether there had been none. I wanted to go.
That's her
For me, the experience was one that made me feel very connected. I felt my being was as much a part of this universe as any stars. It helped me to recognize that right now, we're in space. This Earth is part of that universe. That was my grand connection. And then I looked down and I saw Chicago. I thought about the little girl who had assumed she would go into space. What would my younger self have thought if she met me? And I think she would have been too.
Yay! That was her all grown up. She said she didn't care if nobody had ever been to space before or a million people had been there. She wanted to go, and so she applied, and she worked hard, and she went. Yeah, that's so cool. Hey, I really should sing about going to space. Do you guys remember our Zoom, Zoom, Zoom song? So we're gonna zoom, zoom, zoom. We're going to the moon, and then we're gonna have our spaceship, right? And we're gonna climb aboard. You guys ready? Here we go. Zoom, zoom, zoom. We're going to the moon. Zoom, zoom, zoom. We're going to the moon. If you want to take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. Zoom, zoom, zoom. We're going to the moon. I think we should go to the sun. What do you think? You guys want to go to the sun? All right. Fun, fun, fun. We're going to the sun. Fun, fun, fun. We're going to the sun. If you want to take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. Fun, fun, fun. We're going to the sun. Oh, we should travel to the stars. What do you think? Yeah. Here we go. Far, 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 we're going to the stars. Far, 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 we're going to the stars. If you want to take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. Far, 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 we're going to the stars. Good job, guys! Yay! All right, let's pretend that our fingers are a twinkling star. Oh, and where do we see stars? In the sky. A twinkling little star up in the sky. Is that your instrument there? A twinkling star up so very high. Can you put your star up high? Let's see it twinkling. It twinkles there in the morning, it's gone. Oh, how about if we have two stars? We have two twinkling stars. Twinkling stars up in the sky. Twinkling stars up so very high. They twinkle, twinkle all through the night. But in the morning, they're out of sight. Good job. And do you guys know what a star is? Up in space, there's all this dust and gas floating around. Can you guys spin around like you're gas and dust? You're just pieces of gas and dust just floating around. And then they stop and they see a friend and they say, hello, friend. You say, hello, friend. And they join hands and they go floating through space. All right, let's float some more. We're floating through space. And then they meet some more friends. Hello, friends. And all the friends hold hands. And they're just twirling and whirling in space. And then they stop. And they say, you know what? It's time for a big hug. And they do a big group hug. Can you do a big group hug? Oh, yes. And when they do that big group hug, guess what? In the middle of all of that dust and gas, a fire starts. And it lights up. And that's what our twinkling stars are. We see all that gas and dust, friends giving a big hug, and it lights up a fire. And it twinkles. Isn't that fun? All right. So a star is a burning ball of gas. So our song goes like this. Burning ball of gas, burning ball of gas. That is what a star is, a burning ball of gas. Can you guys sing that with me? Here we go. A burning ball of gas, a burning ball of gas. That is what a star is, a burning ball of gas. Yeah. And then when the stars, we look up in the sky and we see all the stars. Sometimes we can see pictures. We can see pictures in the stars. And we call them constellations. Can you say that word with me? Constellations. All right. So they make pictures in the sky. They make pictures in the sky. We call them constellations. They make pictures in the sky. That was awesome. Let's do it one more time. They make pictures in the sky. They make pictures in the sky. We call them constellations. They make pictures in the sky. Good job, guys. All right. So when people long, long ago looked up in the sky and they saw those pictures, they would make up stories about them. Now, this is back before there were even books. They didn't have books. And they would tell the stories to each other about how these stars came to be in the sky. And so, we're going to read about some today. We're going to start with Taurus. Ready? Oh, we're going to go back to the start. All right, the stars in the sky help scientists and also point the way. Groups of stars can tell a story or show us the month and day. These groups are called, what do we call them? Constellations. And with a little help, you will find animals and ancient stories that fascinate humankind. All right, we're starting with Taurus, the bull. With his snow-white coat, this beast is the terror of the skies. But wait, Taurus, the bull, is really the ancient god Zeus in disguise. That was the story they told about that. Oh, this one is Scorpio, the scorpion. The giant hunter Orion said, I can beat you all. But his sting from the scorpion led to the mighty Orion's fall. And then we have Cygnus, the swan. A man tried to save his friend in a river, but he couldn't swim. So he turned into a swan so he could swoop down and rescue his friend. Whoa, what a neat story. All right, guys, are you ready to sing our constellation song? Yes. Here we go. Lots of stars for us to find, for us to find, for us to find. There are lots of stars for us to find, looking up to the sky. There are 7 stars in the plow, in the plow, in the plow. There are 7 stars in the plow, they guide us through the sky. Ryan.
Sirius is the brightest star, the brightest star, the brightest star. Sirius is the brightest star that twinkles in the sky.
You want that to talk about?
Cassiopeia like a W, a W, a W. Cassiopeia like a W is queen of all the sky.
Wait, wait.
Sing this is what lies the Milky Way, the Milky Way, the Milky Way. Sing this is what lies the Milky Way, it soars across the sky.
Can you quiet?
Stars for us to find, for us to find, for us to find. Stars for us to find, so look up to the sky.
Good job, guys. Now, last week we made pictures with our food, and it was so much fun. I thought we'd do it again. Yeah, it was so much fun. I thought we could do it again because you guys ever look up in the sky so you can look and see pictures in the stars? You guys ever look at the clouds and see pictures? Yeah, you can look up and see pictures in the clouds. But I like to sometimes make pictures with my food. All right. So this is my friend, and his name is Flip Flap Jack. All right. So you guys know me? Flip Flap Jack. And my friend Flip Flap Jack is made out of food. In fact, his head is made from a pancake. A pancake! A pancake! His head is made of a pancake, and his name is Flip Flap Jack. Now his eyes are made of blueberries. Blueberries? Oh, blueberries. His eyes are made of blueberries, and his name is Flip Flap Jack. Now his nose is made of a strawberry. A strawberry. A strawberry. His nose is made of a strawberry, and his name is Flip Flap Jack. Now his mouth is made of a sausage. A sausage. A sausage. His mouth is made of a sausage, and his name is Flip Flap Jack. Now his ears are made out of oranges. 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 His ears are made out of oranges, and his name is Flip Flap Jack. Now his hair is made out of whipped cream. Whipped cream! Whipped cream. His hair is made of whipped cream, and his name is Flip Flap Jack. Now his body is made of a waffle. A waffle? A waffle. His body is made of a waffle, and his name is Flip Flap Jack. Now his arms are made of bananas. 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 His arms are made of bananas, and his name is Flip Flap Jack. Now his legs are made of bacon. His legs are made of bacon, and his name is Flip Flap Jack. Now, his toes, or his feet, are made of French toast. Yeah, French toes. His feet are made of French toes. And his name is Flip Flap Jack. Now, his belly button is made of a raspberry. A raspberry? Yeah, a raspberry. His belly button is made of a raspberry. And his name is Flip Flap Jack. You guys are so awesome with that. Goodbye, Jack. Yeah, it's pretty fun to play with your food when it's not real. Don't play with your real food. I don't want you to get in trouble. All right, so what was Jack's belly button made out of? Raspberry. Yeah, and what makes our pictures in the sky? What do we see up in the night sky? What do we call our is about some Sneetches who have belly buttons made of stars. What? Yeah, let's find out about these Sneetches. All right, The Sneetches by Dr. Seuss. Now, the star belly Sneetches had bellies with stars, and the plain belly Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big, they were really so small. You might think that such a thing wouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, all the star belly Sneetches would brag. We're the best kind of Sneetch on the beaches. With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. We'll have nothing to do with the plain belly sort. And whenever they met someone, when they were out walking, they'd pipe right on past them without even talking. Was that nice? No! When the star belly children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? Not at all. You only could play if your bellies had stars, and the plain belly children had none upon those. When the star belly Sneetches had frankfurter roast, or picnics, or parties, or marshmallow toast, they never invited the plain belly Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near. And that's how they treated them year after year. Then one day, it seems, while the plain belly Sneetches were moping and doping alone on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of calls. My friends, he announced in a voice clear and keen, my name is Sylvester McMonkey McGee, and I've heard of your troubles. I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chap. I've come here to help you. I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed. Then quickly Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine. And he said, you want stars like the star belly Sneetch? My friends, you can have them for $3 each. Just pay me your money and come right on board. So they clambered inside. And then the big machine roared. And it clonked and it bumped and it jerked and it burped. And it bobbed them about. But the thing really worked. When the plain belly Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon arms. Then they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start. We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties. And now we can go to your freebirder parties. Oh, good. From the ones who had stars at the first, we're still the best Sneetches, and they are the worst. But now how in the world will we know? They all frowned. In which kind is one or the other way round? Then up came McBean with a very sly wink. Can you guys wink? And he said, oh, things are not as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who. That's perfectly true. But come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on beaches, and all of the cost you is $10 each. Belly stars are no longer in style, said McBean. What you need is a trip to my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't look like Sneetches who have them on Mars. And that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. Then with snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks and they let out a shout. We know who's who. Now there isn't a doubt. The best kind of Sneetches are Sneetches without. Then, of course, those with stars all got frightfully mad. To be wearing a star now was frightfully bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into his star-off machine. Then, of course, from then on, as you can probably guess, things really got into a horrible mess. Well, the rest of that day on those wild-streating beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up Sneetches. Off again, on again, in again, out again. Through the machines, they raced around and about again, changing their stars every minute or two. They kept paying money. They kept running through until neither the plain nor the star belly knew whether this one was that one or that one was this one, or which one was what one or what one was who. Then, when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up and he went. And he laughed as he drove in his car up the beach. Oh, they'll never learn. No, you can't teach a sneetch. But McBean was quite wrong. I'm quite happy to say that the Sneetches got really quite smart on that day. The day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches, and no kind of Sneetch is the best of the beaches. That day all the Sneetches forgot about stars, and whether they had one or not upon Mars. Oh, yay! That mean old McBean, he actually hooked those Sneetches. Yeah, that turned out pretty good, huh? All right, guys, that is the end of our series for today. How am I really with you? I think we should do it again. No, I'm just kidding. But next week, we have a special edition story time. So we're going to come, we're actually not coming in here. We're going to go into SOS. We'll have signs. We're going to do a story, and then we're going to go out to the building and have the planetarium. We're going to make some Martian installations. We're going to have some, we're going to shoot off the fizzy rocket, so fun stuff happening next week for story time. So be sure to come back for that one. We have coming up, our Cookies and Combo series is the February 1st. Our Wings and Waffles, which is our adult series, is February 10th. So if you guys want more information about that, we have that out at the front desk. And Florida Air Museum memberships are half off right now, $50 for a family membership. It's a really good deal. I think that's everything. We do have another story time under the stars coming up in February. So their newsletter is going out Thursday, and it'll have the links for tickets for all that. All right, let's do it. Let's say goodbye.
Say goodbye, Tom.
Here we go.